Good morning, Horizon. After a month of being spoiled by hearing many voices on these video devotionals, you're back to just one voice, at least for a season. I'm going to take up the reins here from those people who shared over Advent. It was wonderful, but we're not quite finished with Advent today. And this week, the next few, I'm going to actually work through some Advent texts for you before we return to the Psalms in the new year. Today we're in Matthew 2. It's this wonderful story about the Magi. There's a lot of mystery to this. Who are these wise men? Who are these Magi who come from the east to the west after seeing this star that signified a king? Why is it that they are driven to leave the comfort of the home to come and not just pay homage to, but worship? And they bring extravagant gifts. What do they know? How do they know? This text is actually connected to what we would call the Feast of Epiphany, God revealing himself to the Gentiles in this remarkable way. It just shows us God's big heart, that God loves all people, and he's always working his redemptive purposes out for all human beings. It's really a matter of receptivity. Is the heart open to hear God? And then God will always work through them. Somehow, these wise men that may be connected actually to Daniel and the role he took in being a counselor to the king, amongst other counselors that were called Magi, perhaps he was the one who embedded kind of a Jewish understanding of prophecy, and that somehow as these men studied the stars, they connected the dots that God somehow was doing something unique. But I love this act of going to find Jesus and worship him, to pay homage to him. This is the story of Matthew 2. We read, after Herod had sent them deviously to go find the Messiah, after they had heard the king, they went on their way, and the star they had seen when it rose went ahead of them until it stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they were overjoyed. On coming to the house, they saw the child with his mother Mary, and they bowed down and worshipped him. And they opened their treasures and presented him with gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And having been warned in a dream not to go back to Herod, they returned to their country by another road. Isn't it wonderful to see this really beautiful and strange story right there in the Gospels, early, letting every reader know God's heart is for all people. He reveals himself to all who will. And I love that these three kings, we're actually not even told that there are three here, but we love watching them be overjoyed as they discover the Messiah. Grace and peace to you today.